Hello again, everyone. Today we'll be bringing the Kruleboyz list. It's going to be 1,960 points worth of them in a Grin and Blade subfaction, so that we will be invisible outside of 12 inches. Try and give us some resiliency versus the new magic meta that may be developing. We'll be playing in the new General's Handbook. We'll be taking Gobsprak today. He'll know the whole spell lore. Be helpful with a 3d6 unbind. Hopefully we can add some primal dice onto that. And do some mortal wounds back to any wizards in the area. We'll have a killer boss on Great Gnashtooth. He'll be here with the Fasten command trait for hero phase move. He'll be our fast, tanky 3-up save, 10-inch move unit that can go in and do a little bit of hurt. He'll also be able to provide us with some battle shock immunity if he's within 3 inches of one of the 2 Gut Ripper units. If they fail a battle shock roll, they will only have 1 flee instead. So that's a good aura with their battle shock bravery value being at 5. We'll have a Swamp Caller Shaman with a pot gut right here. This first one will have the Hoarfrost spell that'll allow you to change the hit characteristic, wound characteristic, or rend characteristic. It's a new one to the new GHB here. We'll have a second Swamp Caller Shaman over here. We'll be giving him the Sneaky Miasma so that he can use that to give a hero phase move to either Gobsprak or our Sludge Raker Beast, who will be our general today. He's going to have Egomaniac, so he can shrug off wounds or mortal wounds to a unit within 3 inches of him on a 4-up, so that we can give him some more resiliency. He'll have the Pebble artifact that'll allow him to, once per enemy shooting phase, only within 12 inches, all the Kruleboyz units will have a 5-up ward, so that maybe give them a little bit additional resiliency if enemy shooting units get within 12 inches and can see them. We'll have 2 units of Hobgrots right here, some screens, Born to Die. We'll have a unit of 6 Bolt Boys right here, keep our opponents honest. Be looking to slather some mud on them, keep them invisible hopefully with the sneaky tricks. And we'll be trying out the Belcha banner. Murknog with the Belcha banner here. If he would be good in any GHB, it probably would be this one. He went down to 70 points recently with the Battle Scroll for 5-up, wholly within 12 magic ignore. And with our remaining points, we brought the Pendulum because it got a little bit of a boost, and for 40 points you got a spell that on a 2-up will do d6 mortal wounds to every unit that is within 1 inch of it after it's moved, and it can move forward and backwards now. So that'll round us out there. We're going to be looking at a 5-drop list. We're going to have our battle regiment. We'll be taking the new Antorian Acolytes regiment with the 2 shamans, and that'll give us an additional primal dice on a 3-up as long as they're both on the battlefield.
Alright, playing Seraphon today in Coalesced, Koatl's Claw. My general is the Oldblood on Carnosaur, and he will have the Vengeful Defender command trait, so a hero phase move for him and 2 other units, along with Sotek's Gaze for the artifact, which makes enemy units with wounds characteristics of 1 or 2 not count as contesting an objective wholly within 6. Then I have the Saurus Oldblood over here. He does not have anything on him. The Saurus Scar Veteran on Carnosaur, the green one, has Blade of Realities, which does more damage against the hero and gives him an extra rend. The Skink Starseer over here has the spell Hoarfrost. And my Kroxigor is over here, just normal Kroxigors, not the war spawned. Then I have 3 units of Saurus Warriors and the Burning Head. I have a Warlord Battalion and a, what's the other battalion? Command Entourage for 1990 points.
Alright guys, today we're doing Nexus Collapse. It's a 6 objective mission, and it's going to be a little bit interesting because there's an instability. And it favors the player who is scoring the least amount, because the one who's scoring the least amount of points can choose up to 2 objectives and blow them up, and then do 4 up D3 mortals to everything on that objective, which means 2 could be disappearing every turn. So you kind of incentivize not to necessarily hold them all straight out the gate. So we've deployed out here. Kruleboyz got this side. We gave a wide berth to this objective. We're not going to be on it. We are going to be on this one objective here. And the Seraphon deployed over here. Anything to note in your deployment?
Not really. It's kind of a tight deployment, but I mean, I had all this room back here. I just didn't want to use it that much.
Makes sense.
There's nothing too special about this.
And you're on 2 objectives, and you finished dropping first. You were 4 drops. I was 5, and
I'm giving you the first turn.
Giving me the first turn. Going to go to Kruleboyz. Turn 1. Okay, here we are, end of turn 1 for the Kruleboyz. We took our battle tactic Sneak Up, which is the new one from the battle scroll, which we have to accomplish by being at the end of our turn outside of 3 inches of all enemy units, but within 3 inches of a train piece with each one of our units. Which did mean that we had to move our Kruleboyz so they would be unable to shoot at the juicy target that was within range, the green guy over there. But our other battle tactics were pretty slim chance on them. We thought about going for magical dominance, I believe is what it's called, where you get a spell off that's not unbound, but it's a good thing we didn't, because we rolled a miscast on Gobsprak, first cast.
Took a mortal wound.
We took a mortal wound, didn't shrug it. That was the end of his day. This shaman tried to get off the Hoarfrost, missed it, used a primal die, still didn't make it. This guy, shaman, did get Mystic Shield off on our Nashtooth here, and we put the elixir on him. So he is +2 to save right now, which is helpful. Everything else kind of generally moved up and got within 3 inches of the terrain. We took as our sneaky tricks the Noisy Racket for -1 to wound in the first battle round. Seemed like a standard issued one. And our other one was to set some traps on the battlefield. We rolled 2 4-ups, which means we could pick 2 terrain pieces or objectives not wholly within the enemy's territory. And if they finish, the first unit that finishes the move within 1 inch, we'll take D6 mortal wounds. So that's what we went with, because he doesn't have very much shooting. So getting covered in mud didn't really make too much sense. And the magic is a little bit on the light side for a Seraphon. Are we going with a lot of jaws here? So we're just kind of bracing for impact. That's going to give us a score of holding 1 objective, 2 objectives, and our battle tactic. We're not going to hold more because he's sitting on 2. But on this battle plan, I think you kind of want to be pretty close. So we'll see. That'll give us 4 points going to Seraphon. Turn 1.
End of the movement or shooting phase for Seraphon. I did my hero phase movement with these 2 Carnosaurs and these Warriors, or actually the Kroxigors, and then in the movement phase just pushed everything up, kind of pushing more on that side than this side, just defending over here. The spells, I got Hoarfrost off on the Carnosaur for hit rolls of 2. He dispelled my Mystic Shield and my Burning Head. What else happened? I shot with the Carnosaur at this unit, did 1 damage. The Engine of the Gods stored up an extra dice for maybe next turn, rolling for something bigger. And he took some damage from, which one dispelled?
Gobsprak, when he
Gobsprak.
dispels with a 10+, he does D6 mortals back, and he did only 2 wounds back. We spent a primal dice and got above 10. There.
We're all out of primal dice because we're gonna lose them all. Yeah,
What was your battle tactic for the turn?
Oh, my battle tactic was led into the Maelstrom. So I think I'm gonna fail that actually, but I would have had to get a hero and a unit to be in combat, and I forgot about that while moving actually.
You did move this Carnosaur over here, and I did get a 4-inch redeploy to get a little bit farther away, so you could still
I'm
try
not
and
gonna
charge
be able
there.
to get a unit in.
Oh, I
to
see.
combat. I was gonna
A
move
battle
it
line
somewhere.
unit. Okay,
Yeah.
I see. We did have some of our sneaky traps for the Kruleboyz go off on this terrain piece. Did a couple wounds. Over there did 3 wounds, and the objective right there blew up when he came within 1 inch of it for some more wounds. So here we go, going into the charge phase.
End of the Seraphon turn. I did charge in with the green Carnosaur, but took about 10 mortal wounds from the Bolt Boys and then 2 extra wounds. Only did 5 damage total to Gobsprak, and then he killed the Carnosaur. Failed to charge with the red one, and did not get the battle tactic. So just get 1 for 1, 1 for 2, 1 for more.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you own 3 there, so I get 3 points. So it'll be 4 to 3 in favor of Kruleboyz. Yeah, the not Gut Rippers, the Bolt Boys did some damage on that Unleash, and then Gobsprak issuing it ignores the -1 to hit there. So roll off for the turn 2. I have a 6, and you have a 5. We'll see what we do. All right, here we are, Kruleboyz, taking turn 2, and because we have 4 points and Seraphon has 3 points, they were able to have the chance to destroy 2 objectives.
Destroyed this one here and one over there, and did some mortal wounds to the guys surrounding them.
Yeah, you did a smattering of wounds, killed a couple Hobgrots, a couple wounds here and there, gonna possibly force a battle shock here, different places. We took our battle tactic. Is going to be intimidate invaders. That's going to be completed. We're going to have more of our units wholly outside of our terrain than we have within. And with this terrain section, we just kind of this quarter of the board. We're having to move that way anyway because he has all the objectives and we're slow. So have that one over there. Yep. We did some casting, got some elixirs, gave the Bolt Boys some elixirs, gave the Gut Rippers an elixir for +1 to save. Getting ready to take that brunt of an assault there. Mystic Shield went off on the Gnash Tooth. Heroic Recovery onto the Gobsprak there. Now we did get Summon Boggy Mist off, so board wide +1 to hit, +1 to charge for me, -1 to charge for him till my next hero phase. Pretty good one. Then we also got the Choking Mist off for -1 to attacks characteristics on a point that we were able to tag this guy, the Warriors and the Kroxigors. So they'll be -1 to attacks characteristics to the end of our next hero phase. Kind of trying to shore up this side of the board. What else? Primal dice. You didn't get any on the 4-up roll. I didn't get any either, but my battalion yielded 1 for me, and I used it to try and get off the pendulum, and it was not enough because you ended up rolling
a 12 plus the 1 from my
yeah, a 13 with that +1. So there you go. Primal dice aren't as overpowered as we thought. So going into the movement phase, Kruleboyz. Here we are with Kruleboyz, end of the shooting phase. We moved up our units towards this direction, taking that objective and moving outside of our deployment zone for our battle tactic. We got Gobsprak just outside of it, along with these Hobgrots. Moved up these Gut Rippers, and you got a 2-inch redeploy with the Carnosaur. Is it Carnosaur?
Yeah, 2-inch redeploy with them, and
then you issued the redeploy as well off the Gobsprak on the Warriors.
Yes.
For 1 there, making use of that copy command ability. Pretty useful. And so that's looking like a 6-inch charge for these Gut Rippers to get into this Carnosaur. Interesting fight there. And we did do some shooting with the Gut Rippers into the Carnosaur and ended up doing 5 damage. So, softening things up. We're splitting our forces a little bit. See what the charge phase holds for us. End of Kruleboyz, turn 2, top of turn 2. We did go for a charge with these Gut Rippers, and we ended up with an 8. Yeah. But that long charge there would have meant I only got about 6 guys in, and with the Carnosaur's new ability to, what, no inspiring presence?
Yeah, no inspiring presence for units within 3.
Yeah, I would have seen me not killing the Carnosaur. He only has 5 wounds on him, because I wouldn't have been able to get enough guys in. They don't have the elixir. I would have scored that extra point there, but I don't know if it was worth for that. I do have the Battle Shock Immunity Triumph, so we decided not to go in. And we'll see what happens there. We got a decent castle on this side, and we're scoring our battle tactic, and 1 for 3 points, bringing it to 7-3. Going to Seraphon, turn 2.
End of Seraphon's movement phase. I just pushed everything up a little bit. In the hero phase, my Starseer was killed because Gobsprak unbinded his spell and did d6 mortal wounds to him. So he's dead. He did not get any casts off. I failed heroic recovery with the Carnosaur and chose Intimidate the Invaders as my battle tactic, which I should be able to get. Just trying to hold this objective and just push up a little more, hoping for a double turn.
And Gobsprak did get a 5-inch redeploy from putting him out of range for hitting over the top of these hot rods. So you kind of move the Carnosaur over towards these Gut Rippers. And yeah, double turn would be nasty here. Going into some shooting.
Yep.
You got some dice saved up on the engine.
Oh yeah.
Here we go.
End of the Seraphon turn. I completed all the charges I wanted to make. The Warriors and the Oldblood moved in here and killed a few guys. The Stegodon could not get to the main unit because of some Hopgrot screens that I had to kill with some charge damage, and could only get to him but still didn't do any damage. The Warriors over there finished off the Hopgrots. The Carnosaur killed 7 Gut Rippers?
6.5?
6.5-ish?
Yeah, something like that.
And took some more damage. He's up to 9 wounds. I scored 5 for the turn, getting you up to 8 points to 7. So you'll be able to destroy 2 objectives, or up to 2.
If, depending upon the roll-off here, I have a 3.
I got a 1.
So Kruleboyz do win the roll-off if we take... We are losing. So
yeah,
we're definitely going to be able to have the opportunity to take 1 of 2. Fun fact over here, we had the interaction with the Carnosaur. Is it a passive ability for the Inspiring Presence?
Passive.
Yeah, so no Inspiring Presence if you're in combat with him. But fortunately, we were well below 2,000 points, so we did have our Triumph for immunity to Battle Shock, and we used it here. Probably would have had a lot. Probably would have been the unit, I would have guessed. Or close to it, if we had not. Over here we did, kill like 8 out of the 10. There's 2 Warriors left here. Did some good mortals there. 5?
There were already some dead.
Already some dead. Okay. So we'll see. Probably going to a Kruleboyz turn, but we'll see. Think about it. Here we are with Kruleboyz, top of turn 4. We did take the turn. We blew up this objective over here next to the Stegodon. Failed the 4-up. As expected at this point. 4-ups are hard for Kruleboyz. We took as our battle tactic the Magical Dominus, tried to get a spell off. Didn't really have many other good choices. This Shaman tried to get one off, and he had to use a Primal Dice, and he got dispelled using your Primal Dice. So we failed the battle tactic. There's only one objective being fought over in this corner here, so the most we could score is 2 points, 1 for 1 and 1 for more. We gave an elixir to this shaman, moved him up. We're kind of setting up, we brought this hero over here, we're kind of setting up for that surround and destroy for 3 different enemy units, wholly within 6 of a board age, different board age, perhaps. And these gut rippers are making an auto run to try and get into his territory so that I can get my wall grand strategy, which is have a battle line unit or my general in his territory wholly by the end of the turn. We shot with the bolt boys, only did 3 wounds through on the Kroxigors. Pendulum is wild, but it was my turn, so they moved over and did 6 mortal wounds to the warrior unit there. Take what we can get. Going in the charge phase. End of Kruleboyz turn 4. We got our charge in, our singular charge with our shaman. He piled in, made it all the way over there onto the objective. Need a little bit of poking back and forth between these gut rippers and those warriors. We took 3 casualties on the gut ripper side, inspiring presence with our command point that we got from heroic action. The shaman did like 1 wound, I think. So we are still controlling the singular objective. We failed our battle tactic, but we hold the singular objective. So 1 for 1 and 1 for more.
12 to 11.
For 2 points, 12 to 11, going into bottom of 4 for Seraphon.
End of Seraphon turn. I chose Cold-Blooded Resilience as my battle tactic, which was keep these guys alive and not let them retreat, and keep them next to enemies, basically. So just stay there. And I did complete that. The Kroxigors charged in here and killed the Belcher Banner.
Yep. He tried to do his start of the combat phase, just 1 mortal wound on the 2-up to kill one of the Kroxigors out of spite, but he failed. He rolled a 1.
Charged in the Stegodon and the Old Blood here, and killed the Gut Rippers.
Yep.
Taking the objective, and over here, charging the warrior who should have died after 10 attacks came through, but
look at this fantastic lad.
Still alive.
He needs a name. That's what I think. Look at him. We got 1 wound through to him. 10 attacks, no mortals. 2 saves, and that was it. So, scoring 1 for 1 and 1 for more, and your battle tactic for 2 points. Getting you 4, going to 15. Okay, roll off for turn 5, and we'll probably be able to talk out the game after that. Here you go. Seraphon wins the turn. First in a while.
Yeah.
First at all, I think.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll take bait and trap with my battle tactic. I'm just going to retreat these guys, just general direction. And retreat this warrior here.
Man, the hero.
Just actually.
Yeah, you'd probably want them. You could. I don't think your battle tactic would be. Your grand strategy would be.
What's your movement?
I could get it in 11.
You could get
11 inches with an auto run would probably make it in.
Alright,
So you have a different battle tactic.
I don't think so. I do though.
You could move units to within the edges of the board, probably.
Within 6 inches? Think of it?
It'd be 3 units. Yep.
3 units within 6. I could move these guys here. That's the same side of the board though. I could
move
run
them that way.
This guy with an auto 6.
But you would still need 3 guys. So it's not going to work.
Well, what about
you would still have to retreat this guy. And that gives me my grand strategy.
Yeah, okay. I think it's more worth it just to stop you from getting a grand strategy.
Probably, because you're winning right now.
Yeah.
So, regardless, so you forego a battle tactic. You score 1 for 1 and 1 for more. If you leave these guys on the objective, you just retreat them just a little bit and still hold the objective. So that would push you up 2 more points.
2 more.
From 15 to 17.
That sounds right.
And then I would have to try a reprisal with my bolt boys to try and shoot the Stegodon there. I think it would only be 6 attacks. for some mortals here, 2s. So that's that. And they would get the elixir, so that would be...
That's good, he's dead.
That would be
Actually,
him.
well, I have a mystical. How many mortals is that?
That's going to be 2, 4, 6, 8 mortals.
Yep, he's dead.
Okay, so we would get the battle tactic, and that would be it. No grand strategy. So that would round us out at 14 for the Kruleboyz.
To
17
plus grand strategy, because I killed every enemy with an artifact.
Yes.
And there are no enemy units within 6 inches of the center of the battlefield.
Yeah.
So that will get me up to 20.
Yep. That gets you 20 to
What'd you say,
14.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very low scoring.
Second game, low scoring game with the new GHB. Interesting mission where the objectives just start to disappear.
Yeah.
Now what I could have done was destroy that objective there.
Yeah, you want to do that? It could take me down.
That would still give you
points.
the win.
Well, yeah, but it'd be like 18 or something.
Yeah, so destroying that objective would just be 18 to 14. So win by 4. Here we go. Another one in the bag. Kruleboyz lost. This little guy just held fast. So let us know what you guys think. Lists are in the descriptions.